You're sitting across from her at that little coffee shop you both love. She's telling you about her day, but something's off. The space between you feels heavier than usual. You catch yourself nodding along while your mind races. Are we okay? Did I do something wrong? Why does it feel like she's slowly pulling away? That quiet tension where you both pretend everything's fine while knowing it's not, that's where relationships quietly unravel. Here's what no one tells you about those subtle shifts in how she interacts with you. The relationship didn't get harder because your love faded. It got harder because your safety did. When connection frays, it's rarely about big betrayals. It's about the 1,000 tiny moments where she started feeling like she had to earn your presence instead of simply receiving it. You're not failing at love. This is not a sign that you chose the wrong person. Every couple that has ever loved each other has stood exactly where you're standing right now, wondering if the distance they feel means the connection is gone for good. By the end of this video, you'll recognize the hidden signs that she's still emotionally invested, even when it doesn't feel like it. You'll understand what's really happening beneath the surface when connection feels distant, and you'll know exactly how to respond in ways that bring you closer instead of pushing her further away. Let's get into it. Most couples believe that when a girl starts pulling back, it means she's losing interest or checking out emotionally. But the real truth is that when safety leaves a relationship, the love doesn't disappear. It goes underground. Her nervous system is reading you before her mind can catch up. What looks like withdrawal or decreased affection is often someone who has been so emotionally overwhelmed for so long that distance feels like the only protection she has left. The anxious avoidance cycle is playing out between two people who both actually want the same thing: to feel connected and secure. But here's what makes this so confusing. When she pulls back, your instinct might be to pursue more connection, which feels like pressure to her, causing her to withdraw further. This isn't incompatibility. It's a protective pattern that develops when emotional bids for connection start feeling risky instead of reassuring. When you understand that her pulling back is often her way of saying, "I need to feel safe enough to come closer," everything changes. You stop taking distance personally and start recognizing it as a signal to rebuild safety. That's when you can respond in ways that actually bring her closer, instead of accidentally pushing her away. Sign 1. The over-explaining pattern. Most couples fall into the pattern of thinking that when she starts over-explaining her actions or feelings, she's being defensive or hiding something. But the deeper truth is that over-explaining is often a sign of someone who's learned that her natural way of being isn't enough. She feels she has to justify her existence in the relationship. The disconnecting version sounds like, "I just went out with friends because I needed a break. It's not like I'm cheating on you. I just needed some space. I'm sorry I didn't text you sooner, but I was busy and I didn't think you'd understand." This comes from a place of feeling like she has to defend her right to exist as an individual. The connecting version sounds like, "I went out with friends tonight and realized how much I value our time together. I missed you and I'm excited to see you tomorrow." This comes from security. She can have her own life without feeling like she's betraying the relationship. And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down without either of you having to say a word. Sign 2. The future dodging response. Most people interpret her avoiding future conversations as commitment phobia or lack of interest. But the psychological truth is that when someone feels unsafe in the present moment, they can't emotionally access the future. Her nervous system is stuck in preservation mode. The disconnecting pattern. You ask about weekend plans and she says, "We'll see, I guess," or changes the subject. This isn't about you. It's about her feeling like she can't trust the present, so she can't imagine a future with you. The connecting alternative. She might still feel uncertain, but instead of dodging, she says, "I'm not sure about the details yet, but I know I want to spend time with you." That small shift shows she's choosing connection despite her fear. That's when your partner stops feeling like a problem to manage and starts feeling like a person to come home to. Sign 3. The selective vulnerability dance. Most couples think that when she only opens up about certain topics but remains guarded about others, she's being manipulative or secretive. But what's really happening is that she's learned which emotional territories feel safe and which feel dangerous based on your historical responses. The disconnecting version. She talks freely about work stress but clams up when you ask about her feelings for you. This isn't about withholding. It's about self-protection based on past experiences where vulnerability led to judgment, dismissal, or pressure. The connecting version. She might still struggle, but she tries. "I'm not sure how to say this, but I've been feeling disconnected and I miss how we used to talk." That's someone choosing courage over comfort. That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a negotiation into one that feels like a refuge. Sign 4. The independence over correction. Most people see her suddenly focusing on independence, new hobbies, more time with friends, personal projects, as signs she's preparing to leave. But the real emotional truth is that when people feel insecure in relationships, they often overinvest in areas where they feel competent and in control. The disconnecting pattern. She's suddenly super busy with work or friends every weekend, and your invitations get met with, "I need to focus on myself right now." This can feel like rejection, but it's often someone trying to rebuild their sense of self outside the relationship because they don't feel secure enough to be vulnerable within it. The connecting alternative. She maintains her independence, but keeps you woven into it. "I'm diving into this art class I've always wanted to take, and I'd love for you to see my final project." She's growing as an individual while still choosing to share her world with you. And when you recognize that, you stop seeing her independence as a threat and start seeing it as her way of becoming more of who she already is, someone who wants to share that with you. Sign 5. The quiet consistency signal. Most couples overlook the most important sign because it's not dramatic. It's the absence of hot and cold behavior. When she's truly invested, she stops testing you. The games stop not because she's given up, but because she feels secure enough to be consistent. The disconnecting pattern. Hot and cold behavior continues because she's still measuring your responses, still checking if it's safe to trust you. Every interaction feels like a test. The connecting reality. She stops playing games not because she's bored, but because she feels safe. She doesn't need to see if you'll chase when she pulls back, because she knows you're there. The consistency isn't boring. It's the foundation of trust that was missing before. That's when you realize the games were never about winning or losing. They were about two scared people trying to figure out if they could finally put their guards down with each other. Not louder conversations, not more compromising, not scheduling a weekly check-in, but two people who actually feel safe enough to be honest with each other for the first time in years. Here's the part no one talks about when it comes to reading her signals. Something in her is quietly registering, "He actually heard me this time." What's moving through her is, "I forgot how good it feels to be chosen." Emotional distance isn't like a wall. It's like scar tissue that forms slowly over 100 small moments that never got repaired. But here's what nobody explains about those moments when she pulls back. This isn't a communication hack. This is just what two emotionally mature people naturally do when they feel safe with each other. This isn't a checklist. It's an invitation to show up differently. And that changes everything about what's possible between you and the person you chose. When you internalize this, you stop reacting and start responding. And she'll feel the difference before you've even said a word. Real intimacy doesn't start when you find the right person. It starts when you decide to become one. If this resonated with you, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, because there's more practical, psychology-backed relationship content coming that actually helps you build the connection you want. And if you're serious about understanding the hidden dynamics in your relationship, comment below with, "I'm ready to see things differently." I read every single comment, and I'll be creating more content based on what you're struggling with most.